Another away game for Los Blancos, this time visiting Las Palmas, and just 4 days before the international break. Let's hear from Carlo Ancelotti.
Good morning. Before we start, I would like to say that today we received two sad pieces of news. The first is that Juan Izquierdo, a Uruguayan player, has unfortunately passed away. And the great coach Sven-Göran Eriksson has also passed away. I had a lot of affection for him because he was my coach when I played at Roma from 1984 to 1987. I got along very well with him. He was a great coach and a great person. For many of us, he was a great example to follow, especially for those of us who had the good fortune to work with him. He was always a source of inspiration. I send my deepest condolences to the families of both.
How do you think tomorrow's match against Las Palmas will be?
It will be a competitive match as always. I think the Spanish League is showing that every match is competitive and challenging. These are intense matches despite the heat and the fact that the season is just starting. Tomorrow's match will be just as intense, with opportunities for both teams. We know very well that Las Palmas is a team that likes to play with the ball, and that's how I believe the match will be.
Last year you managed to get your team to play without Benzema and play with Bellingham. This year's challenge is to play without Toni Kroos and try to play with Mbappe. Do you think this season's challenge is harder or easier than the previous one?
Every year is different, and the challenges are different because each year the team changes and so does the structure. This is quite normal in this job. Last year we needed time to adapt, and in the first few matches we managed to win points even in the final minutes. So this year it will also take some time to adapt the new team, and we will try to bring out the best version on the field. This is quite normal and happens every year.
Is it possible in modern football for a forward to be exempt from the team's defensive duties? Is this something impossible nowadays?
I think we need to consider this question in a broader context. What we need to achieve is having a more compact team with everyone closer together. To achieve a more compact team, the work of the forwards is important, but the work of the defenders is equally important, because for the team to be more compact, both lines, offensive and defensive, will have to work together. For example, if the forward presses and the defense doesn't move up, then there won't be a compact team. Similarly, if the defense retreats and the forward doesn't follow, then there is no compact team. So as you can see, it's a broad...
Tomorrow will be the draw for the new format of the Champions League, in which you are the reigning champions. Do you like the new format of the tournament? The team was already winning 1-0. Do you think this is also possible with Mbappe?
Yes, but not just with Mbappe. We also have Vinicius and Rodrygo, as well as other attacking resources. We have only played 3 matches and scored 6 goals, although we haven't reached our best level yet. The problem of not scoring goals in this team won't happen. And it never has before. It was the same in times with very powerful forwards like Cristiano, but also in other periods without central forwards like last year.
Tomorrow will be the draw for the new format of the Champions League, in which you are the reigning champions. Do you like the new format of the tournament?
Well, honestly, I don't have a formed opinion yet, because we've never played with a system like this. So we'll have to be a bit patient. And to give you an opinion on this format, well, we'll have to wait a year. Although sometimes something new can be good for the tournament and for everyone. What bothers us a bit is that we'll have to play more matches, and that's more challenging for us.
Don't you think Tchouaméni is being asked to do much more than he should, playing as a central defender or as a playmaker like Toni Kroos used to? What do you ask of him on the field?
Well, I think Tchouaméni is an essential player for us because he has qualities that are very important to us. But obviously, I'm not going to ask Tchouaméni to play like Kroos, just as I didn't ask Kroos to play like Tchouaméni does.
This will be a very long season. How will you manage the players' rest periods? Do you think it will be difficult to convince them that they need to rest?
As I've said before, we have many ways to measure the players' workload and fatigue. Our plan was not to make many changes to the lineup until after the first international break, but after that and when the Champions League arrives, we will have a much busier schedule, and that's when I'll start making changes in the rotations.
How are you helping Mbappe adapt to Real Madrid? How much progress is he making in this process?
He is evolving very well in this regard. He is working well, is motivated and excited about the upcoming season, and has a very humble attitude. So I think he is adapting very well to the team.
Militao suffered a long-term injury last season, but seems to be back at an excellent level. What do you think about his competitive level? How important is Militao in the offensive game and his accuracy with long passes?
I think he has returned to his best level, although he might be missing something. But he is showing continuity in his play and a lot of defensive solidity. He forms an excellent partnership with Rodrygo. And honestly, he has a very precise long pass, which will help us a lot because our forwards are very fast.
It's said that a forward lives to score goals, so how is Mbappe feeling right now? Is he frustrated, anxious, or perhaps more motivated to try and score his first goal in the league? Are you concerned about this situation? Have you talked about this with him recently? To try to find out what is going on. What are you doing to address Mbappe's current lack of goals?
Well, I think the last goal Mbappe scored was on August 14th. And today is the 28th, which means 14 days have passed. He hasn't scored in 2 weeks, so this isn't enough time to worry about it. If we're not worried, he's not worried either. He is very happy and motivated and is looking forward to scoring in the next match.
Do you have any date for David Alaba's return to the field? And now that Nacho isn't available, who is the most pessimistic defender on the team?
Jacobo has all the necessary qualities to play with us, and he has enough quality to play in place of Rodrygo or Militao. Regarding Alaba, he is progressing in his recovery, and today is the first day he will run on the field. So everything is going well. But the most important thing with him is to be patient. Today he returns to the pitch for the first time in a long time, and he is gradually recovering positively.